Welcome to D&D, Tomb of Annihilation, with an all-star cast. Starting off with our Dungeon Master, we have...
Oh, crap. You always start with everybody else!
We have someone who's not ready to be introduced yet, but I'm going to introduce her. It's Kashka.
Hi!
Get a wave and a hi. We also have Nerevar.
It's me.
And you
Playing
are-
as Tobias Saladar, special sorcerer, who's commanding Arok Iron Scale. Oh, wait.
And then we have Callisto.
Hi, I'm playing a half druid, half human. Half elf druid.
I like the half druid, half human. That's
I saw the cold meds, you know. I can't think very well.
And then we have Lissa.
I'm a lizard folk barbarian, and I have my pet Flippy with me as well.
And then, of course, there's myself. I'm Valen, and I'm playing Ulfgar Holderheck, who is a dwarven bard. And we all recently leveled up, but we're all also about to die. Or at least that's the understanding I have. Kashka may prove us wrong. So allow me to attempt to read the recap here. Our group of adventurers continues in their pursuit of the Soulmonger, an artifact said to be cursing all those that have been resurrected before to waste away to nothing. Their search has brought them to a land called Chult, where dinosaurs roam wild, which is the same standard storyline so far in the background, the overall arc. They employed a guide named Azaka, who led them to many places in their journey and ultimately left them in the jungle. And maybe lizard folk might find them tasty in the future, but deciding to continue on, they let out for Camp Vengeance, hoping to find a friendly welcome and a bit of shelter, if not another guide. Camp Vengeance was instead led by a single-minded commander bent on conscription of any travelers they could find. Having narrowly escaped, the party found new friends that seemed tied to their fate. While journeying with them, a grisly scene was found, but before they knew what was happening, thunderous footsteps approached. Boom, boom, boom. And there you have it, folks. We're caught up, and take it away, Kashka.
So actually, hang on one second. I'm just opening a thing. Okay. So yeah, I mean, as Valen said, Artus, I think, was kind of like leading the way a little bit with the group, and he kind of called everybody to a halt and then went sneakily forward a little bit and then was like, oh, it's nothing to worry about, and called you guys up. And then I'm not sure how many exactly of the group came up, but to check it out, I think some pockets were rifled through, but you found half a dead body. So this poor unfortunate looked like he'd been bitten in two, basically. And what was left of him was left on the jungle floor. And you've been through his pockets and you found kind of an interesting charter. And you found out the man's name was Lord Onovan IV of the Dales. Then suddenly Dragonbait gave off a strong scent of violets, and Artus took great alarm to this, and I think directly after as well, Lissa Valia also felt the trembling of the earth beneath your feet as something big approaches. So I think at this point, actually, we'll just dive right in, and if everybody would like to roll an initiative for me, that would be much good.
Oh, it's gonna be a rough session starting out with initiative.
First roll is initiative.
Do we have to have our little icons?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did set up a little battle map. So Oh, Valia, you can
That's
roll again.
crazy talk.
I know it is insane. I was trying to find like a dead body thing to represent our poor unfortunate friend, but I had no luck really. So we've got a red blob instead. So there we go. So I've just put you should be able to see your tokens, hopefully, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least, well, I have to zoom out. Hold on.
Hang on, let me get the turn order going.
Yes.
Great, sweet. So you should be able to, okay, cool.
Pugs.
Whoa.
Pugs.
What? That's interesting. So please feel free to kind of maneuver your tokens around to where they would be.
I'm guessing that the red splurge is the dead dude.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
This is yes, dead body.
My initiative was dead set on that 4.
Apparently. Oh, I should probably roll for artists as well, huh?
Wait, exploding? What? Can I have exploding dice?
And then good old dragon baits as well. Oh, except I need to zoom a little bit because kind of hidden behind a bunch of stuff.
Snoozy snooze.
Yeah, sorry, pug snores are a thing.
For those that are new to the stream, that is an ongoing thing with this channel. We have pugs, they snooze. It's a fact.
Very vigorously. They snooze very vigorously. I'm just gonna have a Flippy act on your turn, Valia.
Okay.
So then Tobias and Arak, I think, are the only ones that...
I have to roll initiative.
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. Initiative. It's Arok and it's Tobias.
Hey! A little preoccupied with something else.
So me and you bringing up the rear.
Alright, let's get this in the right order. Okay.
Meanwhile,
Alright.
Callisto is like Johnny on the spot.
Oh, wait, hang on. Arak is the 20.
Kashka, you're muted.
I heard a snore. I'm guessing you're
Yeah.
unmuted.
I must have hit, my toggle for Discord. Sorry about that. Okay, so then, yeah, everybody kind of, now you've been alerted to it, you're all kind of aware of this large approaching something or other. Callisto, what would you like to do?
I don't know. So something's coming for us, right?
Well, she said that the ground seemed to be shaking and something seemed to be nearing. And it was likely to be large, was the understanding.
Well, I do have... does the dark vision, work far away, or does it just mean I can see in the dark?
It just means you can see in the dark up to, I believe it's typically around 60 feet.
Right.
I think the last thing that was said was artists realized the ground was shaking. I realized it was shaking, and I whispered to you guys, whatever ate him is coming back. We need to move. And I started slinking back into the underbrush.
Yeah, I think I will kind of move a little bit into here.
Okay. Do you want
Kind
to?
of hide myself a little bit.
You want to hide? Okay. Can you
Well,
do?
just until I see what it is.
Yeah, totally. I would. Can you make a siren incoming? Sorry.
Hey, it's gonna happen with the hot weather.
Yeah. People try like me. Anyway, can you make a stealth roll? Oh, thanks.
No, she cannot.
Make one. All right. So Callisto is hiding. So Ulfgar, what about you?
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna run deeper into the brush here, just a bit more, and hide. But I'm also going to cast Prestidigitation on myself to make sure that I get any kind of stuff from the corpse off of myself.
Okay.
I don't want to lure any beasties back.
Fair enough.
And I'll do a stealth check as well. Hold on a second here. Let's go to core. I'm guessing that's what you would like, yes?
Yes, please. Yeah, if you're hiding, just...
Yeah. There you go. 10.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh no, that looks cocked to me on my screen. That looks more like a 12 instead of a 10. Oh, that's based on the 3. Never mind. That's... Oh, forget it. It was a 12. That was the other one.
So Artis actually does the same thing. He's taking cover. He's gonna try and do a hide. He doesn't have that particular skill, so he's just gonna make a dex roll instead. Oh wow! You guys are all like, "We're a leaf. It's just a leaf here." Okay. What's Eric up to?
So, seeing everyone fleeing, he will definitely do the same.
Charge!
Just hide in the bushes, as the large dragon could.
Okay.
Stealth.
Yes, please.
I'm the one who's slowing everything down.
Oh, no.
Actually, Aurochs have a very good stealth.
Oh yeah, check that out. You turn around, Tobias, and Eric's gone. He's just like merged into the undergrowth. All you see is like an eye looking at you, blinking. You know.
He's just standing so still that he's invisible.
Yeah. All right, Dragonbait also going to do a hide. He also doesn't have that as a skill, so he's just gonna make a dex check. Okay, and he's just gonna kind of back up here a little bit as well. Okay, Valia, then. What are you and Flippy up to?
I guess I'm shoving Flippy back a little bit. And I'll just kind of scoot back just a hair.
Are you gonna hide as well, or are you just kind of...
Yeah, I'll just kind of hide under the trees.
Okay. Okay. And then Tobias? You look around and everybody's like in the shrubbery.
Everyone's gone.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to dive into the bushes also
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay.
Let's hope he doesn't come. We just hope whatever's coming doesn't come through where we are or where they are.
All I know is that we all literally like dove into the bushes. None of us like sneaked into the... No, we just jumped full force into a shrub. That's what it sounds like. Except for Lissa and Erok.
Okay, so yeah, you feel the footsteps moving closer, actually. It's just a thundering, like every time you kind of, every time a foot is put down, every step, you just feel the vibration is growing, and you see to kind of, I'm just going to assume this battle map is north, south, east, west. So to the northwest, you see a lot of foliage moving around. Trees are kind of swaying. It's classic Jurassic Park style, where there's kind of something in the jungle.
I have a glass of water.
Yes, you're looking at your glass of water. But you can see in the puddles on the ground for sure. So sure enough, he's definitely not hiding. Out of the undergrowth, I need to switch layers, comes this incredibly large dinosaur.
Hooray!
He is huge, basically. I mean, he's kind of the classic T-Rex style, right? And he sniffs he kind of lifts his head up into the air and sniffs the wind. And then his head like jerks around towards where everybody is hiding. And he takes a few more steps forward. So he's kind of like edging ever closer, and you can't really tell if he's looking at Artis or the dead body, but he definitely seems to be looking in kind of like this like general direction over here. So anybody doing anything different while this is going on? Or?
I ready a short bow. If it looks like it actually attacks somebody, I shoot it. That's about it.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to? Are you all just kind of like hoping that you've hidden well enough?
No. So if I turned
pretty much.
if I turned into that, how would I battle it?
I think it's a bit larger than you'd be
Than
able
what
to
I
turn
can do.
into at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Um.
I'm gonna ready my my fire sword.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Okay. So he's moving forward, and he bends his he's got this massive head, right? Bends his massive head down to the ground and nudges the half a dead body a little bit, and you can see Artis is standing there like, oh my god, he's just like frozen, like he's not moving, he's not breathing, he's just like frozen in not a little bit of fear and a little bit of like, if I don't move, he can't see me, kind of thing. Whether or not that's true, but Artis is not moving.
Little does he know he has to close his eyes for it to not see him.
So the T-Rex nudges the dead body, and then picks it up with his teeth, flips it into his mouth and swallow, and what was left of the dead body is gone.
Okay.
We can kind of remove that. So he's standing about there now.
So half the party currently has a nice violet smell masking them.
Yeah, I just noticed it's on our side.
So, anybody want to change what they're doing?
I may. Let me look at the range on this. No. Yeah. I'm just doing the same thing.
I'm just holding my breath with my little fire sword out.
Okay. So he Yeah, the T-Rex kind of like licks his teeth. He doesn't have much for lips. Just kind of licks his teeth a little bit, and then his eyes kind of dart to the side. And Callisto, he seems to have seen your flame sword.
Oh dear.
Of course he did.
So he lets out this roar, and you can the smell of like fresh dead body is kind of on his breath and just like blasts you in the face. This warm air, and he's going to make a dive for you. Let me roll his. Ooh, hang on. Let me.
By that side of the party.
Roll
I
his
shoot him as
initiative.
my reaction.
All right.
Well,
That's
if he starts charging her, I shoot him.
Yeah, it's great.
great. The T-Rex is like so going very, very last. So what that means is he's I think his kind of like overconfidence in his, apex predator status gets the better of him, and he's just kind of reveling in causing some fear amongst well, he doesn't really see everybody just yet. And some of you he definitely doesn't see. But yeah, that's what he's up to. He's kind of like reveling in his apex predator roaring and all that stuff. He's having fun with it.
So when you say huge, is that like the next one up above large?
I forget. Is massive in the middle?
I don't remember massive even being in there. But okay. I still see how big he is on the map, so that's good.
Yep. He's a big guy. All right. So Callisto, you've got he's clearly seen you.
Yep.
So, but he's kind of just being a dick right now and just roaring at you. So if you would like to do something while he's,
How much move?
Speak to animals.
Can I move and then attack and then roll out of the way?
yeah, you could move, attack him, and then move, continue, with what's left, because you've got like 30 feet of movement. So he's about like 15 feet away from you at the moment. So you could definitely move up to him.
10, and then attack him. Like I'm gonna try to attack his legs with my sword.
Yeah, stab him like maybe in between the toes. I hear that really hurts.
Ooh.
What's his eye?
Then I forget what I'm supposed to roll after this.
Well, that I think that was your damage, so you need to do your spell attack on him, which is on your spells page. Spell attack bonus. So you do a 1d20 plus your spell attack bonus, which I think was like 5 or 6.
A 6.
Yeah.
So it's 1d20 plus 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely hit. So he takes 16 points of damage.
Nice.
All right, and then I'm going to kind of roll myself out of the way.
Okay. So yeah, you've got about like 20 feet of movement left.
There.
All right. So, Ulfgar, you see Callisto run towards the T-Rex, stab it, and then scuttle back into the bushes a little bit.
Yeah. That's not really going to stop it from doing anything. Sorry, just weighing my words, because, yeah, it's not going to understand my speaking. I should have done speak with animals. That would have helped. Because then I could speak with animals and suggestion. But I never thought about comboing those two before now.
Combo those two.
So I guess I will loose an arrow as an attack and withdraw by my range, which is what, 25 feet. So that's so are diagonals still going to be considered 5?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, then let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would shoot first and then back up. So.
You see Ulfgar just running in the opposite direction.
Hey, it's really big and it's hungry, even though it just ate a half a people without much issue. So let me do my attack. I don't know that I have the short bow on here yet. I don't. It would be the same bonus as my rapier, but it's going to be different damage. So I'll just roll my rapier.
Okay.
All right,
That
16,
hits.
and it's let's see, roll. Oh no, wait, it's actually the same. It's all the same stats because it's a short bow, so it's only 1d6
Ah, yeah.
plus 3 dex. Oops, I'd ignore that. Sorry, I need to click on the word. There you go. 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. You see a little arrow. He's not
Pew!
particularly bothered.
And I give inspiration to Callisto as I retreat.
Okay. All right. So Artus,
Destroys it in a single word.
now you see Artus takes his glove off quickly and pushes his fist into the ground. And this is you see kind of a magical kind of effect happen. But that's probably what he's gonna do for now. Hang on. So but the the T-Rex does get a save against this. Hang on, let me look at this. I had this open before and
Let it be intelligence. Let it be intelligence.
you should be so lucky. Okay. Alright, so the T-Rex does get a save. That's con save.
Oh, shh. Yeah, Lilu said it right just there.
Alright, so you see Artus go, oh shit. And he pulls out his dagger.
Really? He pulls out his dagger? We're so screwed. Does he retreat? Tell me he retreats.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, brother.
Well, he moves back 1, let's say.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, on to Erok.
Oh, definitely. I know it would be not very wise if he would rush into him, but he didn't see him, so he'll be waiting for now for better opportunity to attack.
Okay. So Erok's kind of holding his action
For now.
Okay. Cool. Alright, Dragon Bait, on the other hand, is not going to hold his action. He, let's see, how well does Dragon Bait think he hid? Did Dragon Bait make it? Trying to find it in this mess. Yes, okay, so he thinks he's somewhat hidden. So, you see Dragonbait pull out a longsword And let's see, he's like 10, 20, 25 feet away.
Hang on.
And Dragonbait is going to rush up to the T-Rex, and he gets to make 2 melee weapon attacks.
Nice.
So he is going to... He's holding his long sword with 2 hands, and he's just going to try and cleave into this guy.
Okay, I just read what that sword is called as well. That's pretty impressive.
So he definitely he attacks. Does that not have the damage on there? No? You didn't want to do
Just
that?
says the attack.
Boom. Nope. Okay. Well, they both hit. Here, let's do the damage then. So...
I'm a fan of dragon bait. Does this T-Rex type creature count as dragon?
Sorry, visitors. Okay.
Okay, so Dragonbait does a fair chunk of damage to... he swings at it twice with his long sword, carving into its, kind of leg, its upper leg a little bit.
Damn it.
And, yeah, does some damage to it. You do that. Okay. Alright, so that's Arrock and Dragonbait. Valia. You see Dragonbait has run up. He's like, nope, not gonna mess around.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to run kind of its rear flank, avoid its tail, and I will rage as a bonus, and I will try to stab it with my spear. Or claw.
Okay.
Nope.
Not quite. No.
Okay. That's my goal.
Sorry, I can only inspire one at a time. Oh, can I use one of my luck rolls?
Yeah.
I forgot you took luck.
I just realized I didn't take off the extra stuff.
Simply just reroll, right? The D20 or with
Yeah.
my bonus.
Because I think you can either make something else reroll as well.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, well that was a waste.
You can keep using luck, I think, if you want to use it all now.
No.
Okay. And Flippy is just are you like doing anything with Flippy or like
I just kind of, before I ran off, I just kind of told him stay and took off.
Okay. He kind of hunkers down. He's quite scared, so, so he's hanging out there. All right, Tobias, what you up to?
Actually, I'm moving aside Arok, and I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt
Oh, nice.
Okay.
on the Tyrannosaurus Rex, yelling, "You should stay hidden." Because if Dragonbait wasn't so... which level? It's level 2. Guiding Bolt. Oh, come on, what is...
Nice.
So you make your spell attack.
Yeah.
Yep, and then if it hits, you do 4d6, which is awesome.
Roll dice. 4d6, right?
Did you say you were casting it at a higher level?
Yeah, on second level.
So then it would be 5d6.
So,
5d6.
but first you need to do 1d20 plus 4
20 plus 4.
to see if you hit.
Never mind.
Well, that was still +1, but yeah, that's still a natural 1. Wow.
Yes. Okay. So the guiding bolt kind of just goes wild and sails up into the sky. It's just going
That's
forever.
That
Oh,
spell's
okay.
supposed to enable people to better hit the object as well. So.
I prefer smaller targets. And seeing that this spell failed, I would like to mount Arok.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Do I have to do something or
You said you want to move him, or?
mount Arok?
Oh, okay,
Mount him.
gotcha. You're climbing up an arc. Okay. No, I mean he's a willing participant, so yeah, he's just no rolls are needed or anything. No, so yeah. I think it does kind of reveal Eroc's position a little bit, but the T-Rex is fairly preoccupied at the moment anyway, so so not too much to worry about there. Okay. Is Eroc going to do anything this turn, or he's kind of just going to wait for next turn?
I think he should wait for his turn to move.
Okay. All right. You're going to move. All right. Gotcha. Okay, doke. So then it is on to Mr. T-Rex then.
No.
And
No.
he's going to try. So he takes a bit of a step forward. He's not too happy with what Artus was trying to do to him. So he's going to try and bite Artus, and then he's going to use his tail attack on Dragonbait. He does kind of leave your threat area, though, Valia, if you want to take an attack of opportunity on him.
Of course.
Much better.
Oh, nice. There you go. It's like the opposites today. Okay, gotcha. So he takes 8 points. Are you biting him, or is that
Yes.
like a javelin?
I just, or clawing him. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So he takes those 8 points of damage, and then he's gonna try and bite Artus, and he succeeds.
Wow.
And I take a really whopping point. Flying. That's a lot of damage.
My artist.
4d12 plus 7. What?
It's insane.
Okay. Artis actually is grappled. Okay. All right, rules people. I need some help with grappling. Does he get? He has to wait for his turn to try and escape it, right?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
Okay.
yes, unless it has some special ability, right? Oh yeah, media. It is grapple. This guy, yeah. So this guy has an ability then. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he's gonna wait till his turn to try and break the grapple. Okay. So then he's gonna use his tail on Dragonbait. So he hits with that as well. And why did I don't want to edit, I just want to do the damage. So Dragonbait takes 16 points of damage from the tail. Okay. T-Rex is done with his turn. So Callisto, you see in front of you, Artis is basically in the T-Rex's mouth at the moment. He's like grappled by, the T-Rex has got a good grip on him, and he's taken a big chunk of damage from, being chomped by all these teeth.
Yeah. So I'm going to move away.
Bye, Artis!
And I'm going to use my thorny whip to try to, take his leg from under him.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Or not.
Crap.
Yeah, I think. Wait, does that Does that
It-
have your spell attack?
It didn't add in the spell attack, so I add in 6 to that.
Oh,
Okay, so that's...
So that'd be 13.
Oh, that is its armor class, so you hit it with your thorny whip.
oh, good.
So, okay, if the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up 10 feet close to you. Okay, so he's bigger than you're able to pull, but he does take the damage. Because he's bigger than large.
Well, damage is better than nothing. Wow, that Tyrannosaurus sure is pretty loud.
I
know. He doesn't like being thorn whipped. All right. Anything else you would like to do? Any bonus actions?
Can I try to hit him again?
I think if you've got do you have any 0 level spells? Because those would be bonus actions. So if you've got any 0 level spells that do damage, you could hit him with one of those.
The thorn was my 0 level spell.
Ah, okay. All right. Then you could cast a higher level spell, and that thorn would be your bonus action.
Well, I do have bark skin that I could possibly cast on Artis. I don't know if that would be helpful or not. Well, it's an action though.
Yeah, that's fine because you've got an action left, basically.
Well, it's basically it lasts up to an hour, and if I touch the willing creature, until the spell ends, the target's skin has a rough bark-like appearance, and the target's AC can't be less than 16. Does that sound helpful?
Sure.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, cool. So perhaps before you backed off, you would smack Artis with
Yeah.
skin, and then then you hit him with the whip, and then back off a bit, or vice versa. Okay, cool. All right, Artis gets all bark skin. Nice. Let's see, is that? Oh, that does help. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Ulfgar.
I shoot him.
Artis?
No. I shoot it. There you go.
All right.
Put him down.
So I'm just going to use my rapier roll. Actually, here, what I can do. Let's change this to rapier short bow. There we go, and now it'll work for both. Oh. I'm not even going to roll for damage on that.
That doesn't hit, unfortunately.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Shoot. I am going to move closer a bit. And I'm going to give inspiration to Artis.
Okay. You could use it, that's for sure.
Oh.
Okay, so Artis now has to try and break this T-Rex grapple, which I think he can use Escape Artist or Strength, right?
Yes.
I don't think Escape Artist is a thing anymore.
Oh, yeah, but he can...
It's
can he still use
acrobatics or athletics.
That's what it is.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Damn
Still
it.
stuck back in 3.5.
Yeah, me too.
When you said 0 level spells, too, I was like, oh boy, you're going back.
Sorry. Okay, so he can do acrobatics or strength, right?
Or athletics.
Or athletics. Okay, yeah, he's not particularly. And the inspiration gives him what?
Plus 1d6, but he can wait till after he sees the results of the roll to add it.
Okay. All right. So I think he has to try and break out of this grapple. He definitely feels like he's in danger of
Dying.
in danger of all right.
Danger Will Robinson.
And do a roll. 1d20 plus his dex. And then because Wait, hang on. No, that would just. So if he's doing acrobatics, then he doesn't have that as a skill. Okay, so then he just gets his dex modifier, doesn't he? Okay, he's gonna. Actually, that does it, I think. Let me just double check. Does it say on the thing DC 17? Oh, he just makes it. Okay. So, so he manages to kind of like wriggle out of this this grapple, this bite that he's been pinned in. And on his way out of that, he's going to use his bonus action to give a little stab with his dagger. No, he misses. But he could use his inspiration on that, couldn't he?
He could add an extra d6 if he thinks it'll help.
Yep, he's going to do that. He hits. Magic. So then he gets 1d4 damage. Okay, so he does 9 points of damage.
With a dagger, no less. That's pretty good.
See,
Better
you
than my
were
nothing
scoffing
with
at
my
the
short
dagger.
bow.
Okay. And then, yeah, he's not gonna back up because he's a bit worried about being chomped again if he leaves the threat area. So he's gonna hang out where he's at. He's got his new bark skin going on, so yeah, I think. Yep. Okay. All right, Eric.
So Arag with Tobias on his back, they are going to get closer. And maybe not in that manner, maybe flying.
Okay.
From the bushes, and Arag is using bite following by claw.
Okay. Get him.
Get him. Bite. It should be that.
Maybe the claw?
And the claw.
Unfortunately, neither hit.
Crap.
Did you say yeah, that was a 5 and a 3. Oof. You say you're not flying? You're sticking to the ground at the moment? Or?
Flying.
Oh, you are flying. Okay. So you're kind of up by a bit more his height. Okay. Cool. All right. Dragonbait, seeing what happened to Artis, is actually going to kind of use his move. He's not going to leave his threat area, but he's going to use his move to kind of circle around the T-Rex to be at Artis's side, and then he's going to do 2 swings again with his sword. Both hit, so then he gets to do 1d10 plus 5. Or, I could put the space in and that would probably work better.
Do all the damage.
Okay, so it does 13 and 8. Not quite as much as last time. But he swings at it again twice he's got this big old long sword. And the T-Rex takes a bunch of damage.
How's this thing doing, by the way? Are we even scratching it?
Yes. You can't see his health bar? Or
No.
No.
oh.
I can only see mine.
Me too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty wounded. He's got several large slices in him. Got a bite going on. He's been stabbed in the face with a dagger. He's been, thorn whipped. Yeah, he's got some damage going on. He's definitely bloodied.
Okay.
Significantly bloodied, I would say. Okay. That's Dragonbait. Valia.
gonna move over here and I'm going to bite him while I'm still raged.
There's a lot
Okay.
of biting going on.
Chompy, chompy. Oh yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'll just tell Flippy stay back there, and I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. He gets another bite taken out of his back, and yeah, he's not too happy about that. All right, and Flippy is staying back. All right, Tobias.
Oh, I have no idea what he is going to do next. Actually, I may not be in range to do this, but either way, I'm going to cast Stone Skin on myself.
Okay. All right.
Why is okay? It will be one. I know. No. It's. I didn't have to do a roll, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Still, it's good to know what it does. That's cool.
Yep. Okie doke. All right. The T-Rex. Was there anything else you wanted to do, Tobias? Oh.
I try to do a little bit of damage with my sword.
Okay.
I will be able to reach it.
Sounds good. Yep, that hits. 7 points. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you see, the T-Rex is looking really like haggard now. Like he's kind of he's leaning precariously, like, and you see kind of blood is like dripping out of his mouth. You can't tell if it's his or maybe it's artist or maybe it's from the dead guy. But he's not looking too great at the moment. So, but he's still, thinks he's Mr. Apex Predator, and also Dragon Bait has kind of pissed him off royally. So he's taken some pretty heavy hits from Dragon Bait, and his attention definitely turns to him. So he's going to try and bite Dragon Bait. He does. Ooh, let me see if that. Oh, he misses. I think he's
Good.
definitely not feeling great because he missed on that bite.
Whew.
But he is doing a tail at Valia, and Valia, you take if 21 hits, you take 19 points of damage from his tailio.
I take half that since I'm in rage.
Yay!
Oh yeah,
Resistant to bludgeon, piercing, and slashing while I'm in rage.
nice.
Yay for rage magic.
Yeah,
You may
he's
take 10 or 9.
9 is fine. So yeah, he's kind of leaning at this point. It's like he's about to fall over, kind of thing. So Callisto.
I'm going to try the Thorn Whip again.
Okay. Yeah, that does not quite hit him.
Okay.
Really close.
Oh. Well, you haven't used your inspiration yet.
I have not.
You could add a
that's true.
d6. And you could add it to hit if you would like.
Well, you know what? You don't even have to roll it because it's only 1 away from his AC. So
Oh, okay, great.
That 1 pushes you over, and yep, he takes 6 points of damage from that. Nice.
Is he dead yet?
Not quite. Maybe Ulfgar.
Jesus. All right. I will. Guess what? I'm gonna try shooting it again. So let's try it. See if I can hit it this time.
Go get him!
Nice.
Yep, that hits.
16. Yay!
don't think you can quite finish him with a short bow.
6
But,
points of piercing damage. Pew pew.
okay. All right.
That's it for me.
Okay. Artist, you see is like clutching at his side where he took a big chunk of the teeth, piercing damage. That was harsh. And he is going to attack. Ooh, actually, he's gonna do probably something else. 1 second. Let me just have a look. Let me just grab this. Alright, let's see what this will do. Maybe Artist can finish him. Holy moly.
I hope somebody finishes it. We
I
just
think
keep on
Artist-
like pecking at him.
Okay, so Artist, you see him just reach out with the hand that he took the glove off. He just like punches it towards the T-Rex, and a spell is kind of projected from his ring, basically. I'm not sure that everybody would notice that it's his ring, but that's kind of where it's coming from. Okay, so Mr. T-Rex does get a con save for this again, unfortunately. But he fails. This poor T-Rex. Sorry. I mean, I know he's important. Anyway. So he's gonna take a massive clobber with this, with this spell. Ooh. Okay.
Wow.
So he does. You see just a blast of cold air erupts from the kind of face of Artis's fist as he points it towards the T-Rex. He's like this, and a blast of cold air issues forth from it. He's got it kind of angled so that he's not hitting any of his fellow party members. But you see the ice kind of creeps over just rapidly engulfs the T-Rex's body, and he's just he reaches his head for this guy, and he's letting out like a last roar, and his whole head just freezes mid-roar. So he is actually completely frozen in place. And yeah, Artist kind of collapses to the ground at that. And yeah.
Okay. Nice. I guess go up and check to see if Artist is okay. He took a big chomp.
So T-Rex is done or just frozen?
You want to take a look and see if you can figure it out?
Yeah, we probably should.
Trying to see, is there a nice frozen thing on here?
No, I just see a giant frozen dino pop.
Oh, that's just stupid. Okay.
I wonder if there's a status effect.
Yeah, I was looking at the status things, but they're all kind of. We'll just.
I just do blue, I guess. I don't know. Use a net.
That's alright. That's alright. I mean, when you look at him, he's kind of covered in wounds. So I don't know. Anybody else want to take a look at the T-Rex and see if they think he's dead or not?
Maybe I do.
Okay.
Tobias, perception or investigation will be better.
Either or, actually.
Could do a medicine.
I'll do investigation.
There we
Oh,
go. Frozen T-Rex. He's blue now.
okay. Oh,
he
nice.
looks very much like a frozen T-Rex. As far as you can see, he looks dead. You think this probably killed him?
I'll go up and do a perception check.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure this killed him. He has a lot of wounds on him
Just-
already.
Just to be sure.
Somebody chop his head off, just to be sure.
Stab him in the arteries.
Left my axe in my other pants.
If you guys do try to stab him, he's frozen solid. You know, it's like hitting ice. So you can't really stab him. You could like hack at him, you know, but he's
he'll-
frozen solid.
It's the jungle. He'll melt it soon.
How's Artis?
So Artis has taken, he's less than, he's at like a third health.
I would like to cast Healing Word on him.
Okay.
I'll cast Healing Word on him as well.
Okay.
Hang on.
Boop. That gets him 12 back total.
Oops.
Okay.
Plus 12, not minus 12. Okay.
Actually, I'll want to help too, and I'm going to cast what is it? Cure Wounds on him.
Nice.
Nice.
Creature of the how many is it? Level 1. Hit points equal to 1 plus d8. 1d8.
Plus your spellcaster.
Which I think is charisma for him.
I think it's Constitution.
Your casting ability is charisma based.
Charisma. Okay. Plus spellcasting it will be plus 4, right?
If
If
your
I'm not
charisma
mistaken.
is 18 or 19, yes.
My charisma is 14.
Then it'd be 1d8 plus 2.
Just 2. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's much better healing.
Yep.
You're muted.
So I've got to switch my key for anyway. So yeah, you see kind of the wound close. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Come on.
You see some of the wounds close that he was, you know, where he had been bitten. The massive teeth, you know, kind of serration that was across his body, and you can see those kind of close and heal up. He still has some kind of injuries going on, but nothing nearly as severe. And he says thank you. He says that was close. Let's not mess around with those guys again.
You're not kidding either. Was that you, or was that the ring that did that icy blast?
He says that was the ring.
It's a handy tool to have around. I'm glad you're with us.
He says, it does have great power, hence why I'm, you know, hunted by the Zentarum. They would very much like to have this. But I don't think they would use it for good, so I'll keep it away from them as long as I can.
That would be a good plan.
So you said it was cursed.
He says, well, it's a blessing and a curse, as you just saw. He says it saved my butt more than once, but it is a powerful artifact that could be used for evil just as much. So
So later on, what do you decide to do with it?
Sorry, what was that?
What will you decide to do with it?
He says, I will keep it as long as I am alive.
That sounds like a good plan. You seem like a good enough person. So, we've got a large frozen beastie here.
He says, yeah, we could wait for this guy to defrost and have a big barbecue if you want. Might be here a while, though.
Well, I don't see any real benefit to that. I mean, we did just find this guy. Speaking of, we were just having a conversation, Tobias, but before we were interrupted. I was suggesting that you try on that armor that we got to avoid being chomped in half, like our friend Artis was here.
Yeah, indeed.
Was nearly chopped. Luckily, he's wearing armor of some sort, I guess, that apparently helped him, though it still looked like it hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, but we still need to clean his chainmail, and also we have to get rid of those Order of the Gauntlet marks.
Well, we already wait, chainmail. I thought we had scale mail.
Scale mail?
Yeah, we had been repairing some scale mail.
Oh, so that's my mistake.
Oh, that's right. So I think all we need to do is just remove the mark. So I'm sure we could manage something like that. So is the mark on the scale mail, is it like inscribed, emblazoned, a piece attached to it, the gauntlet?
It's like an emblem on kind of the shoulder.
Can it just be removed?
Yeah, you probably could. I think what you'd need to do is, after you removed it, you'd need to use a mending spell to mend the area that you removed it from.
All right.
Okay, so we are going to do that.
So
Okay.
I could mend it while you're putting it on, because I know it takes a few minutes to put on. So
Wolfgar is going into like full mum mode, where he's like, "Put this on so you stay safe." And when you go out in the jungle, make sure you wear your scale mail.
It's important, don't you know? Don't you know?
Okay, so my armor class is going to be up of...
Yeah, I'm looking up seeing if I can find where the armor is in the book right now. Gotta look it up in there so I can tell you those stats. But otherwise, I think I'm ready to go, short of getting the armor straightened out. Unless anybody else had anything they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Artis says, this guy's kind of missing something. He's looking up at the big T-Rex, like, kind of missing something here. And he's like, I'll be right back. And you see him kind of like, and he just goes into the kind of the bush area, kind of around the T-Rex. Like here, he's kind of like, looking around and he's scouting. And you see him picking some stuff up. And he comes back and he's got this like big kind of bunch of flowers from around the jungle. And he just kind of like, he says, Dragonbait, give me a boost. And Dragonbait gives him a boost up, and he just puts the big bunch of flowers, like, because the T-Rex's hands are like, his little arms are like ticked up, so and he just puts the flowers into his hand, like the T-Rex is holding a big bunch of flowers. And then he gets back down to the ground and he says, oh, much better. Okay, now I'm ready to go.
Very nice. You've turned him into a planter, I see.
So are you stopped fooling around?
All right.
He says, what's life if you can't have a little fun?
All right. So Tobias, your armor, or what's your dexterity modifier?
My dexterity modifier is... Hang on. Dexterity is +2.
All right. So the scale mail is 14. and it's adding that on. So then it's a total of 16 armor class.
Okie dokie.
Now, the bad part about it, though, is that if you try and hide, you get disadvantage for stealth checks. But your armor class is now higher.
Yeah, I wasn't very stealthy anyway.
All right. So let's go back to the map then. I think we're done with the frozen T-Rex here.
Speak
So
for
we'll go back to the map, and by this point, it's kind of I think you guys have been moving for a while anyway. When you came across Mr. Dead Dude, so let me just open up the encounter table, and it's kind of mid-afternoon, and yeah, what would you like to? Are you just kind of continuing on for the rest of the day, or?
I don't have any objection to it, yeah.
Okie doke. Hang on, it's just reloading the encounters. Okie doke. So, oh, it's still working. Oh, it takes a while for this sheet to kind of like do its thing. Come on. There we go. Okay, so, it's the rain that's been kind of going on during the morning is kind of easing off, and into the afternoon it becomes actually, for once, it is rain-free, and you have a fairly dry afternoon, kind of waltzing through the jungle the rest of the way, and you are going to move forward a hex, and set up camp. And let me check the encounter table. Okay. Right. So set up camp, and who's taking watches?
I guess I could take first.
I'll take last.
I'll take second.
Okay. So Callisto, are you sleeping, or?
I can take a watch with somebody. Are we doing double watch it, like two people, or just one person? There's 6 of us.
Yeah, so then we're doing 2 per watch. So.
All right, I'll do the first watch with whoever said they were doing that.
I think that was Lissa.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Okay. So then first watch is Callisto and Balia, and Dragonbait will sit up for a watch as well. Artis would much prefer to kind of catch up on some sleep. So yeah, that's where they're gonna land. So Dragonbait will take second watch as well. You know what? No, Artis can still get a full rest in there. Yep. So who's doing second watch?
Me.
Okay. And then Ulfgar is doing third. Okay.
Yep.
So all right. So then the first watch. Hang on one second. Let me grab my notes.
There's actually 8 of us if you include the baby axe beak.
Was left behind.
I'm just assuming that Arok is doing the same watch as Tobias.
Mm.
Are you guys? Is that what you're watching together, Tobias, or do you need some company?
Yeah, well, I'm watching with Arok, so.
Okay. All right. So the first night the first watch passes without incident. One second. Just need to copy paste something because I suck at spelling. There we go. Okay.
Next, we run into a herd of T-Rexes.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I just saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really annoying.
Yeah. I don't
can't.
think I'm supposed to read that, am I?
Legal
No.
outside.
Okay. I'm not reading that.
That's really irritating, actually.
Oh.
I guess there's a character limit on whispers.
Oh, seriously? So
Oh, wow.
if you exceeded it, post it public. That is, oh wow.
That's fantastic.
Actually, I see the first part was only for me, and the rest is for everyone.
Here, allow me to make a few strength checks here, just to
There
clear
we
that
go.
off the screen. There we go. Done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look at all those strength checks. I
So
got a nat 20.
that message is just for Tobias.
Okay, let me read that out.
All right,
Next
so
time I'll just use Discord. Here I thought I could actually use the tool, that we were.
Thanks, Roll20.
Roll20's like, heart.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I could use a handout if I need to next time. It's just irritating.
Yes. So, we survived the night.
You survived the night, yes. As let's see, the second watch. If Tobias and Arak are on the second watch, then Tobias, I'll leave it with you after you've read that. If you do anything with that information.
For now, I just assume that was just a normal dream.
Okay.
Just for nothing to worry about.
Okay. All right. So then the last watch, passes without incident as well, and you wake up the next morning, fairly refreshed and ready to kind of rock and roll. So let's see what the weather is doing. Actually, the rain continues to hold off magically. And your day passes really without incident. I think there's rumors going around the jungle of frozen T-Rexes, and the dinosaurs are all kind of fearful of you now. So the rain picks up in the afternoon, and let's see. Artist says one more kind of. He thinks one more day travel, and you'll be at Mambala. So. I mean, and you kind of do another sleep. When you wake the following morning, again, it's not raining, which this is really weird. It's like it's rained for like 4 days solid, and now the rain is kind of holding off. But I do need a thing here.
Must be because we're getting close to the mountains.
You do see, kind of coming up, there's a big cliff coming up that you seem to be approaching. You get glimpses of it through the trees. Really? This is so partway through the morning, though, you do, that is bizarro. You do have kind of a strange encounter. So could you actually all make a perception check for me, please? I'm just going to do a roll here as well. Doesn't mean anything at all. Oh, okay.
Apparently, I'm lost in my own thoughts.
Tobias, can you do a perception check for you and Arok?
Oh, he just put his.
Okay, what? I'm sorry about it.
You need to do a perception check.
For me, who?
You
Both.
guys.
Both of you.
Bob, perception check. Perception.
Nice.
Nice. I see everything.
He sees through time.
So you definitely see something that you haven't seen. I mean, you've been traipsing through the jungle for quite a while now, and you're getting used to like what the plant life kind of looks like. Big palm leaves, massive jungle trees, vines growing everywhere. But one that you haven't noticed before catches your eye, and it's this vine, which perhaps isn't unusual in itself, but on the vine are these weird shaped fruits, and they look like they're kind of imagine a banana that had split into four, like it had legs or something. That's what these guys look like.
Okay.
They're yellow fruits. They have a skin on them, but they're really like leggy looking. It's really strange. Like, most fruits are kind of compact in some way, right? Like round or oval or pear-shaped or something. But these are like, they've got like legs sticking out of them.
And this is what Tobias and Arok see?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How far they are? How far away?
They're not that far. They're just kind of hanging down just off to the side of the path that you're kind of trying to follow.
I'm very hesitant if things comes for something in this jungle. But I do pick a couple of them.
Okay. Yeah. And you pick them. And yeah,
I'm just using my sword to cut them off the vine.
Oh, okay. Yep. So you can slice the vine quite easily, and the fruit falls to the floor. You can kind of catch the vine or hold on to the vine if you want, so it doesn't, get squashed or anything hitting the ground. So yeah, you've got this vine and these, and they're kind of like almost hand size. It's like 4 of these hand-size fruits.
I'm going to ask our new companions rather. Do you know what are those?
He says, hang on one sec, let me look at Dragonbait, see if Dragonbait knows what this is.
Dragonbait gives you a banana smell.
Oh, that's very assuring.
Dragonbait gives off a scent of lemon, actually. And Artis says, oh yeah, I know those. He's like, they're delicious, actually. He's like, they won't do you any harm.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm tossing one of them to him. Prove it.
Getting him to eat it.
Okay. He says, he looks at you and he says, together. And he starts like peeling.
You're cheeky.
I'm just like shaking my head. I was like, oh, you're dumb.
So he's peeled the skin back, and you can see there's this kind of bright pink flesh of the fruit underneath. And he sniffs it and he goes, mmm. And he's just kind of standing there waiting to see if you do anything.
Okay, I will hesitate no longer. Together.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. So he takes a big, huge bite out of the fruit.
I stand real close to Artis and watch him, and make sure he swallows it.
He kind of sees you doing this, and he chews like and then he goes So Tobias, are you following suit? Are you doing the same?
Yeah, I'll just take a smaller bite, just to see how it tastes.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't lying. It tastes delicious. But I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Really?
Yep.
I'm just standing there with my arms crossed, watching both of them, waiting for somebody to draw.
Okay. And you see Artus look at Dragonbait and goes, "Here it comes," and just almost immediately, like after swallowing it, and he's standing there and says this to Dragonbait, and immediately just begins this most bizarre dance that you have ever seen. And Tobias, the same thing happens to you. Suddenly, you have no control over your limbs anymore, and you and Artus are just dancing like crazy fools. And while he's dancing, Artus is saying to you, "This is dancing monkey fruit. It's like, it makes you dance."
At least it's no mad monkey fruit. That is ridiculous. Okay.
I'm just like, I'm just shaking my head and trying not to laugh, and just going, idiots.
So, and Dragonbait is like, if he could laugh out loud, he is laughing so hard at Artus. He's like, it's really kind of bizarre scene because you've got Artus like dancing like a complete idiot, and then you've got Dragonbait laughing silently beside him, and then yes, Tobias also dancing like a complete idiot. Yeah.
I just walk over and pick a few and put them in my pack. And then I look at Flippy, and then I just kind of turn around.
Oh, you should feed one to Flippy.
I'm so tempted.
Flippy's like, huh?
I take a piece of the one artist had, like, because he still has some left, or the one Tobias had, because he had some left, and feed it to Flippy.
Okay. Oh boy, hang on. Now I gotta look, see what. Axe beat Constitution. What do they get? Oh, they get a +1. So roll for Flippy. You can do like a D20 +1 for a Constitution saving throw for him. Yep, Flippy fails. And you see Flippy's legs kind of like start doing this thing. And then he's the other leg and he's trying not to topple over while his legs are just like, and then his wings start going as well. He's just like.
I just start clapping and laughing at him.
And he's looking at you like, oh my god, what's happening to me?
I just giggle. I'm like, look at Flippy go!
Okay.
Now the real question is, how long does this last?
So you stand there for about a minute, and then the effect starts to wear off. So. Let me just make sure I haven't missed anything here. And you kind of slowly gain control over your limbs again, Tobias. So you kind of stop dancing. And the whole time, Eric's been kind of looking at you like with one eyebrow raised, like,
Delicious. Right.
Okay. Alright, so, but he says, Artus says, He says, but never eat those before a fight. He's like, if you take damage while you're under that effect, he's like, you get a hell of a hangover.
How do all that dog?
Well, at least you'll laugh your enemies to death.
All right.
I just pat Flippy on the head and offer him a piece of like dried fish.
Mhm.
Before we go, I'm going to keep a couple of those.
Okay. All right. So, Valia, I think you grab like 3 as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I grab like 3.
Yeah. Okay. And Tobias, you have a couple. Okay. So yeah.
Like 4 of them.
You can try and sell them or whatever.
Or monkey, what were they called?
Dancing monkey fruit. This adventure is full of strange random encounters.
Yes, it is. If given the opportunity, I'd like to ritual cast a spell. Not like it doesn't have to be right now. It can be like as we go or something like that. Like the
Okay.
ritual cast detect magic on that coin that I was given back.
Okay.
Try and figure out the nature of it. Hey.
Okay. So, for your ritual, you probably need to be kind of stationary.
I was kind of thinking like if we, we're camping for the night or something like that or whatever.
You could like break for lunch or something, and yeah. Okay. So that should tell you. So if you do a ritual casting of that, hang on one sec.
It just doesn't use up a spell slot.
Right. I need to just have a look at something.
The
Now
jungle
I feel
comes
like
along.
we're in the jungle.
Yeah.
Very loud jungle.
Would you like me to click the description for detect magic?
So it's going to tell you the school of magic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Whoa.
Let me...
My cat just knocked my camera down.
I was like, wow, Alyssa just got sucked up in a tornado.
And my modem. And my router.
Oh, good job, kitty.
Yes,
Oh,
so
boy.
I will fix that. And
Let me just have a look. Hang on one second. Need to find out. Sorry. I need to look up the school of magic.
Sorry. I didn't mean
That's
to slow
alright.
you down there.
All right. Well, while we're doing this, no, that's not it. Oh, there we go. Hang on. So he did. They did. I just need to look up this in the. So, School of Magic, so it's an enchantment.
Okay.
Is that the correct doodad that you need?
Sure. I was hoping to try and learn any kind of information about how to use it or what it might do as well, but if I'm not able to figure that out, that's fine.
You think flipping the coin in the air will activate it?
Okay. Good to know.
Okay. All right. So as you're traveling today, you see before you a huge plateau is on the horizon line. It's kind of actually just blocking your view entirely. This massive 1,800-foot high plateau has sheer cliffs to the side of it. And artists will point at it and say, that's Mbala. And the cliffs rise above heaps of boulders Some of those boulders are as large as, and these boulders are huge. Some of them are as large as ships. And there's a narrow path you can see that's cut into the cliff face and seems to climb all the way to the top.
Oh, good. I was worried we'd have to actually like climb.
Nope, there is a path up there. So yeah. So I think so you found the fruit. You continued on for a little bit further. So kind of mid-afternoon, you're approaching kind of the base of this plateau, and where the path kind of starts cutting up into the cliff face.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys just kind of heading up, or?
Yeah, I am.
I'm following our fearless leader. Well, not really fearless since he ran away from the Tyrannosaurus.
I didn't
Right.
ran
Ran
away.
away
I made sure I had range on it.
Ran away from the T-Rex. Yep, totally
Big,
did.
sharp, pointy teeth.
So Artis says, while you're kind of approaching it, he says, Mbala used to be a village, actually. But he says, as far as I know, there's only one resident now.
So then you think the Oracle is actually a living person and not some magical being?
He says, well, the Oracle is at Oralunga. He says, but Mbala
right.
has... yeah, he says there is a resident at Mbala, so...
You've been here before.
He says, I haven't been up. He says, I just, this is just what I've heard about this location.
So by resident, do you mean someone of intelligence, or are you talking about we're going to run into another one of those dinosaurs that eats people?
He says, as far as I know, he says it's an old woman. He says she used to be a member of the village. She's the only surviving member.
But did she survive?
He says, I don't know. Says she's old. Who knows how she's and I don't. He says I don't know. What killed or what happened to the rest of the villagers, if they were killed even. Says all I know is it's just her left. He said, but there used to be a village up there. But he says it's like everything else in the jungle. So it slowly gets overtaken by the wilderness and the dinosaurs. So the path, the path. Sorry, anybody else want to kind of do anything before we head up the steps?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So the path is the much easier route to the top, obviously, than trying to climb it. It begins on the north side of the plateau, and just kind of switches its way backwards and forwards up the cliff. And then you switch back. It winds across the face of the cliff for about 3 miles before reaching the top. The path width varies. Sometimes it's very narrow, like only about a foot wide, and you're kind of edging with your back against the cliff. And other times it's more like 6 feet wide, and you have no problem at all. And sometimes there's boulders and roots blocking the path. But as long as you kind of take your time, you can kind of climb over these or move them out to the way fairly easily. It does take you about 3 hours to make the climb up these steps, this path.
Okay.
And as you climb higher and higher, you get kind of a view above. You're climbing up above the tree line here, So up above the canopy of the jungle, and you get this incredible view out across the jungle. And actually, what I'm going to do is delete some more of these guys that are around the plateau, because except not the name, the hex. Go ahead, delete. Okay. Because you can definitely get kind of a view around the plateau. So we can delete that, but you get this incredible view. And actually, what I'm going to do as well is delete some of these that are out here in the Aldani Basin, because this is a very clear kind of view here where you can see the basin kind of revealed. Except I want that one right there. All right, so I'll go on clearing some of this in a moment. But there are a couple of specific things that you see. So you're looking out as you go up this path, and you see over here.
Whoa.
You see, because you can see for miles and miles and miles and miles. You can see this kind of strange looking rock that is it doesn't look natural at all. The position of it doesn't seem to be like it doesn't seem like it should be there. It looks like it should have fallen over, or collapsed or something like that. Right? So that.
Where was it again?
Hang on, let me do the thing. If I switch layers, then I can put kind of change this to the token layer, and then you can see where. Okay, so you see that X?
Yes.
Okay, so that is where you see this really unnatural looking rock.
Does it seem to resemble perhaps the obelisk that was originally described to us?
No, this if you had to describe the shape of this rock, you would actually describe it as like a physical kind of heart shape, not like a cartoon heart shape, but like, physical kind of heart shape, like where it's larger, slightly larger at the top and narrow at the bottom, which is part of why it looks like it shouldn't be in that position. Because it just doesn't, it looks, and the top is too big, right? It looks like it should have just fallen over. Especially because you can't really see, like, what's holding this rock up. So that's the first thing you see, right? Then the next thing you see is over here to the west, you see a ziggurat, a classic kind of South American culture style ziggurat. Like, imagine something like the Aztecs might have built, and that's kind of what you see over to the west. The top of this ziggurat poking out of the top of the jungle.
Okay.
And then last thing that you see is way down to the south here. Move that to the token layer. There we go. You see what looks like a shipwreck in the trees.
Okay.
So there's like classic kind of wooden boat parts, really kind of large, that are like sticking in big trees.
You're right.
So that is what you see. while you're
Okay.
heading up this path. You get a really good view of kind of the jungle, and out over the Aldani Basin, which I will continue to uncover here, except I'm now on the wrong line. There we go. You get a good view out over. And the Aldani Basin really is kind of, as the name describes, it's this huge kind of flat area that looks like it's kind of marshy, watery area. I said area a lot there.
ALDANI.
I will just hang on because it's already there. So let me just change the layer. Ooh. There we go.
Oh, okay. Let me just delete. Oh, crud. Cool. Okay. Any signs of life? Up on the plateau that we just got up on top of? Like this.
Okay. So when you get to the top of the plateau, right? So this the path veers directly into a natural cleft in the stone face of the cliff, and in this kind of cleft, the steps are physically cut. Where before it was just kind of like maybe some rocks were placed, or it's just the natural incline of the path. Now you can see that the steps are actually cut into the rock here. And on the sides of this crevasse, right, it's about 15 feet wide. On the sides of this crevasse, there are kind of almost frescoes or reliefs, that have been carved into the rock. And they depict different jungle predators. They've got there's one with some flying lizards. There's one with an erupting volcano. It's really kind of, it looks like it was something that was done a long time ago. And as you make your way up the stone steps, you emerge onto the top of the plateau, beneath what was once grand but is now a decrepit wooden gate. The gates that sealed this entrance are completely rotted away now. So it's kind of like, if you imagine like a bit of a gatehouse, that's what you emerge underneath. But the actual gates themselves are long gone. All that's left is kind of like, you see the old rusted hinges that are hanging off the frame, and the bands that were reinforcing all the wood together. Are just kind of, laying on the ground. But on a more sinister note, in place of the gate are heaps of human skulls. They are all completely clean of any flesh or skin or hair. And in fact, I would say the sun, has kind of done its job, and they're very bleached at this point. And they kind of grin up at you from the roadway, and down from atop, and there's like this towering mound of them, basically.
Does it block our path? Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think we found what happened to the village.
They were turned into a wall?
Yeah.
It does kind of block your path, yeah. You'd have to either climb over the skulls themselves, or climb kind of up the sides of the staircase and then go around this kind of giant gate.
So the gates themselves are now made of skulls?
Well, it's like kind of a gatehouse,
Mm-hmm.
But there aren't any actual rooms in it, but it's like the frame of the gate was once very grand, right? It was once this big grand frame of the gate, and that is still there, but the gates themselves are gone, and in its place is just this heap, this mound of human skulls.
Okay. I'd like to investigate the human skulls. See if I can figure out. I'm guessing that they've been here for some time, but I don't know.
Sure. You want to have a poke around through them?
Kind of. I don't want to remove them, but I do want to inspect them.
Okay. Yeah, make like probably an investigation check.
Hold on. There it is. There you go.
Yeah, they all seem to be, human. And they seem to have been there for a very long time.
Are they just stacked, or are they like mortared in place?
They're just stacked. You do notice that that they kind of look like they've been gnawed on. Like you can see, like on the bone of the skull itself, there's kind of, it looks like teeth have been ground against the bone.
Has anyone seen the likes of this before?
Archer's like, no. And he kind of like backs off a little bit.
What are the sizes of the teeth? Are they like human size or large animal size?
They're kind of like, they look like maybe large animal size.
Oh, okay, that's bad.
That's better. You're like, as long as it's not cannibals.
I'll walk around to the side where the stairs are. Try to slowly walk up those.
So I'm doing a terrible job explaining this. The steps, the ones going up in between the carved rock faces, and then those steps emerge like directly onto like where the skulls are. So to go around the gate, you'll need to like climb up the reliefs, basically the carved rock faces, and then you can kind of get around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just do that then.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, could you make a athletics check for me? Yeah, no problem. It's not that difficult to climb.
I may disagree with that. What do you see?
I'll look around and see what I can find.
What
See.
do lizard folk eyes see?
Tobias, what would you like to do as well?
What are I doing? We're standing. I'm standing wherever. On the top of the stairs or at the bottom?
I think at the moment you're all at the top of these stairs. Except for Valia, who has kind of gone around the gate frame. In front of you is a big mound of skulls in between the frame of an grand old gate. And then that kind of immediately is adjacent to the sides of the crevice that these steps were carved into.
Actually, I would like to go up the stairs if this is possible.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can go up the stairs. And then are you going to climb over the skulls, or?
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
There's no reason to mount Arak for something like this.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, you kind of, as you're climbing over them, they kind of like, they're not particularly stationary. They kind of move around a little bit as you're trying to move over them. They're a little bit unstable, but it's not a problem. Some of them kind of roll a little bit. Ulfgar, you see kind of some skulls tumble towards you as Tobias goes up and over.
I try to mage hand them back in place.
And so Ulfgar and Callisto, are you saying staying on this side of the skulls for now, or are you gonna?
I was waiting to find out what Lissa saw, or what
Okay.
Valia saw. And
Okay.
I'm curious what Dragonbait's scent is at this moment as well.
Do you know what?
Well, I had asked if anybody had experienced this before, and I hadn't had a response from him, so.
Yeah, he smells like ham.
Okay.
But that's the extent of his response.
I'll
Have you
look.
learned to interpret that yet?
Some of
Like-
them, not that one. I'll look at Artis and say, so I'm trying to understand the scent I'm getting from Dragonbait right now. What is the feeling that you get from this?
And he's
scent?
like, really? He's like, right now you want to have a language discussion about how Dragonbait communicates?
It'd be best if we
Right
understand
now?
each other in a combat situation. Yes.
God, maybe we should have thought about this before we climbed the stairs. He's like, can we talk about this later?
Fine.
So Valia and Tobias, what you see in front of you is basically the remains of a village. And it looks like the majority of the buildings of this village were made of wood and thatch, because most of them have completely kind of decayed, to the point where they're just heaps of demolished stuff now. There's no kind of there's like vague kind of, you can get a vague sense of where the buildings were, but they're just kind of collapsed at this point, and there's moss growing over them, and lichen and weeds and all kinds of stuff. Is kind of, nature is taking this village back, except for one structure that does still stand. It's a lone hut that is about 1,000 yards southwest of the gate, at the edge of a boulder field. And the hut does have thatch on it, and animal hides. And the reason that it's probably still standing is because it wasn't made of wood. The animal hides in the thatch seem to be stretched over the rib cage of a huge reptile. And you do see kind of hung as well from underneath the thatch. You see some wind chimes and some animal skulls and totems of feathers and shells. And and it's quite breezy up here, being up so high. These all kind of make a rattling noise as the wind blusters past them. And also the wind is taking from the top of the hut a big drift of smoke, as obviously there's kind of a bit of some kind of fire inside. And you also see a creature shuffling slowly around the hut, and they are hunched over in an animal-like posture. And you realize that it's the human woman. She looks impossibly old. She's clearly crippled by arthritis. She doesn't look like she can see where she's going, and her face is very dark and leathered skin. But she does have painted on her face in kind of this yellow clay, the shape of a skull. Or perhaps it's just her shriveling skin kind of portraying that, making it look like it's painted on there. But she has very little hair. It's kind of hanging down and kind of strands. She's just an incredibly old lady, and she's kind of shuffling around the hut, in this hunched position.
What do you see?
It's very hard to describe and very bizarre look.
Are
Is
we
up.
in danger?
I can't
Doesn't
tell.
look like it yet.
Should we come up? Or are you coming back down?
We probably should there's a person over there, I think. We should probably go over there and maybe see if that's who we're looking for.
Yeah, that's probably the Oracle.
All right
Okay.
then. Come on. Let's go. And I'll start climbing up the side. I don't want to climb over the skulls.
Okay.
Ditto.
Okay. Can you both make athletics checks for me then, please? Yeah, it's not a difficult climb, just making sure you don't kind of fall on your bum. So yeah, you can climb up the sides and go around the gate frame, and then yep, you see. And here, let me just show you what she looks like. She has a hat on in this particular image, but this is who you see.
Awesome.
You can kind of see, maybe she is wearing a hat and you just see from underneath stringy hair hanging down a bit.
I love the name. Even though we don't know it yet, I love the name. Right then. So I'm assuming everybody's up and over at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
I am.
Let's go introduce ourselves.
I say after you. You're the one who talks to everybody.
I walk forward towards Nanny Poo Poo.
Okay.
Making myself seen, so I'm not like trying to hide or anything.
She doesn't seem to see you, but she does, you do hear her kind of, or see her tilt her head kind of in your direction. But she's not looking at you. And as you get closer, you can see that her eyes are completely blinded by cataracts. So she's not of the seeing variety. But she can kind of hear you coming. And she says, "Visitors! Visitors I have!"
Yes, hello there. My name is Ulfgar. I come with some friends, and we mean you no harm.
She says, "Well, that's good to hear.
May we come closer then?
Of course, of course."
Ulfgar kind of motions for everybody to come around and just approach straight up to her. Okay.
I'll walk up slowly.
Yeah, me too.
And she's still kind of shuffling around a little bit. She looks like she's collecting rocks.
Does she have a skull around her neck?
She has it's not so much a skull as more like kind of an emblem. Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't look like it's made of bone. But
I have a more important question. Does she speak common?
yes, she does.
I forgot why we were coming to Bombala.
So I'm like, so are you the Oh, I gotta find my my notes.
It's the oracle of something.
Yeah. Are you the oracle of which everybody speaks of?
That was in Orlunga.
So maybe we need to ask her
Guardian
where.
would be an Unlunga.
Yeah. Yeah, where Orlunga is actually.
Oh, it's west of Mambala, so
Yeah.
well, I'll just tell her we're looking to speak to the wise guardian of Orlunga. Could you point us in the direction that we need to go?
She lifts her face up like this. And after a few moments, she points west. She says, "Do you see the ziggurat?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that where it is? Is that Mambala?
Or,
She
we're in
says-
Mambala.
She says, "Well,
Sorry. Or
what
Alunga.
can you give me in exchange for this information?"
What type of items do you hold valuable?
Items. I don't need items, she says. But my village has been plagued by terrafolk. Says,
Oh.
perhaps you're mighty adventurers. You could cleanse my village of these terrafolk.
Might they
Those-
be the same
those-
terrafolk of Firefinger?
She says, not the same,
Oh.
just more.
Mm.
Oh, jeez.
Oh dear. How long
Everybody
is
wants
your...
something in this jungle. God.
Well, don't we as well?
She says, that's how I
Perhaps.
survive.
So where are the terrafolk living, or do they just show up once in a while?
She says, they have a nest on the south side of the plateau.
How many people lived here?
She says, you saw the skulls.
Aye.
Those are my friends, my family.
Did any survive besides yourself?
Only me.
Hmm.
Yes,
I'd-
kill the terrafolk, and then I'll tell you everything you need to know about Oralunga.
Sure, we've eaten terrafolk before. Why not?
They aren't exactly a pleasant people. Did any of your village try to fight them off before?
She says, of course, you defend yourself. But we're simple villagers, not mighty adventurers.
What makes you think we're mighty adventurers?
You made it this far, didn't you?
Well, so did your people. Does that make you a mighty adventurer then as well? I think so.
She says, ha, 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 ha. And she just laughs in this like really raspy kind of
All right. So, what can you tell us about your terrafolk problem? I'm
She said-
Ulfgar, by the way, and then I go to introduce each different person in the group. And I didn't catch your name.
She says, you see a frown kind of on her face. My name.
Well, what can we call you?
Kind of gets this look on her face like she's thinking really hard. They used to call me Nanny Poo Poo.
Would you prefer we call you something else?
Says, I have not used a name for a very long time, so that one will do.
Very well. Nanny Poo Poo it is.
Says, there is a cave just below the southern lip of the plateau. That's where the terrafolk are.
Is it challenging to reach this cave without flight?
She says, how would I know? I can't see.
I'm unsure of what you know. You know of its existence. Perhaps you've seen it in the past. You can tell us what you used to be able to see.
She says, I'm sure you could climb down to it.
All right. Do you know how many were there last you knew?
She says, when they attacked us, more than a dozen, I would say.
Hmm.
And she's kind of continuing to shuffle around, and she's picking up rocks, and you can see her kind of feeling them in her fingers. And some of them she casts aside, and some of them she puts in a pouch.
I look around and say, well, I guess we're gonna go kill some more Terrafolk.
Sounds like it. This would be fun.
I'm just pulling Olga on the side. We cannot assume that what she's telling is true.
Hmm.
If there
Regardless.
are Terra folks around here, they probably lose interest of this place long ago. Look at those bones.
I do have a question. How is it that you've come to survive? Forgive me, but an older woman, being blind, typically is not one that can outmaneuver a terrafolk, especially when there's evidence of the rest of your village being taken.
She says, they're not interested in these bones anymore.
Please explain.
She holds up an arm and goes, not much to eat.
I just kind of nod my head in agreement. I was like, yeah, older flesh is pretty tough.
You see like a little smile on her face.
What is it you're doing there with the stones?
Looking for the right ones.
Right ones for what use?
Well, I have to feed myself.
You eat stones?
No, says I use these to catch my food.
I just laugh really loudly.
What is it that you use these stones for to catch food?
She
Don't
says,
you think
"You've
she
got a
probably
lot of
throws them?
questions, haven't you?"
I am a bit inquisitive, yes. Forgive me. If I've gone too far, lady.
She says, "Come, I'll show you my garden if you like."
Ulfgar kind of turns to everybody, shrugs his shoulders a bit, and goes, "Sure."
So she shuffles off around, kind of around to the side of her hut, and as the ground beneath your feet kind of gets a little bit softer. Instead of being like a hard gravel, it becomes a bit more of a dirt. Serious kind of more serious layer of dirt here, and you can see that she's got kind of not weird, but kind of measly looking plants growing in this little garden. They look pretty like pathetic. It's tough to grow stuff up here, obviously.
Right.
I
Not
just pull out a
exactly.
bit of dried fish out of my pouch and hand it to her. I was like, here, have some of this.
She says, "Oh, thank you."
It's kind of cringe watching her try to eat with like missing teeth and stuff.
Yeah, bits of fish are kind of like falling out. and-
Oh, God.
She's a very messy eater. She's blind and she doesn't have all her teeth. Those two things do not make for tidy eating.
I look around and we realize this village has nobody in it, basically. We're assuming that all the skulls are what was left of the villagers.
That's up to you.
Mhm. Ulfgar says, have you ever met someone by the name of Azaka?
She kind of does this little sway while she's thinking. She gets that face that you saw her make when she was trying to remember her own name.
Yeah.
She gets that face going on. No.
Right.
I'm pretty sure she's long gone by now.
Hey,
We're on our own in this jungle.
I wasn't sure if she originally came from this village. She seemed to have
When
a...
you say you're on your own in this jungle, Arthur's kind of goes.
I just shrug my shoulders. We're still on our own in this jungle.
I think
And again, if you-
present party was included.
Arthur looks at Dragonbait and shrugs his shoulders.
I look at artists. So, have y'all fought bird people? Terrafolk. Have you fought terrafolk?
Yep.
Fun, aren't they?
Just don't let them grab you.
Right.
Well, we didn't have that luxury last time. We actually got lucky and we were in a cave. They couldn't fit very well. This time doesn't look like we'll have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we decided where we will be heading next.
If we want information, I think we're gonna have to go do what she wants, to be honest. And who are we to argue with an old lady? She looks like she could probably take you down in a hit and just kind of elbow her, just like real lightly.
She like, and then she says, so you'll fight the terrafolk? You'll do
Sure. Sure, we've been doing side quests for everybody. Sure.
Well, we didn't have much choice either.
Like, hey, by chance, since you live out in these areas, you heard of a curse that's been going around affecting the dead that have come back?
She says, I don't get many visitors.
I didn't think so. I figured it was worth a shot. Not
Okay.
even dead? Not even undead? Because we were told there's a lot of undead out here by some jerk in a camp, but
They don't venture up here.
Well, that's nice to know. We don't have to worry about undead guys while we're fighting terrafolk.
Oh, that's great. But before
She takes
we
a
go-
finger and pokes at Ulfgar and says, You should help me with these stones.
All right. I start helping her with the stones. Picking up different stones and offering them to her.
I try not to laugh. I'm just like hiding my head, like looking at Flippy.
And she's shuffling kind of away, and she's holding out a stone, like for you to take, Ulfgar.
I take it.
And she shuffles further. She holds out another stone.
I take it.
And she's basically just kind of shuffling around, handing you stones.
What do I
Kind of
do?
sneak over and put another stone on top of his hand and walk back.
I drop the one that she gave me. I only take the ones that Nanny Poo Poo gives me. What do I do with these?
Sorry, Callisto, did you?
Oh, I was gonna say, Nanny, if I might ask, what exactly are you doing with these stones?
These are for catching the lizards and the birds.
How do you just throw them at them?
I can't see.
Then how do you use them to catch lizards and birds?
I use them in snares.
Ah.
Too bad we're too far away from the lizard pop. She would love that.
Is it just for food? Because I
Yeah.
can go get you some food.
Yes, for food.
Can I go do a hunt before we just to help?
Yeah, sure.
I'll keep
Then
hold her.
Then
Everybody's-
maybe you don't have to pick up more stones.
I'll still help her with the stones though, because she might need them in the future. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody's all rested up, right, from the last rest. And we're all healed up and everything.
Yeah.
I think Nerevar was trying to say something.
Yeah, I was trying to. Who will be helping me with setting up a camp? Because what time is it?
It is getting pretty late in the day. You arrived at the base of the plateau mid-afternoon, and it took you about 3 hours to climb up to the top. So it's
So
getting,
we are close to sunset either way.
it's getting like evening time. It's like 6 p.m., something like that.
What
That's
better?
the best time to catch the Terrafolk.
It is.
Because remember last time, well, you don't remember, you were kind of in the cave. But when we went last time, we waited till dark because they settled down, as with all creatures that like to sleep at night. They settled down and they weren't flying in the air when we were able to sneak up on them.
I agree. If we're to do this for her, we should be doing it soon. I continue taking a stone.
I look at Artis and Dragon Bait. I'm like, so are you guys up for killing some more Terrafolk for this nice old lady who may let us camp here when we need to?
They got nothing better to do.
How big are these stones? Are they just like really small? Or am I
Yeah,
doing-
they're just kind of small stones, but you do have like a fair kind of armful of them.
I motioned for Dragonbait to come over.
And he looks at you like, not helping you with your crazy stone quest.
Finally, but we can set up camp and wait until the night.
I
Well,
return.
we gotta, as I say, we're waiting on Callista. She's getting food,
Yeah.
and then we'll make sure we have everything we need, and we can head out.
Survival is what I needed, right? I returned with.
Yeah. Yep.
Stuff.
So you return with a whole kind of quarrel full of these little geckos that you've been finding darting around the rocks.
Yum.
Geckos.
So while we're just like waiting, I guess, for nighttime, can I use my speak with the animals to talk to Flippy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll use that, and I'll tell Flippy. Flippy, you need to learn how to fight.
I
Looks
kind of
okay.
speak over your shoulder and I'm like, you might want to tell him also he's probably best to stay here while we go do this.
Oh yeah, I forgot Terrafolk, and he's pretty small still.
Don't know how well he can climb.
Yeah, and you'll have to stay with the old lady and keep her safe, Flippy.
Have a
kills
gecko.
Snaps the gecko up happily. He seems to be in agreement. Yeah. He just says, "Yep."
He can use like simple words, like toddler words.
All right. Yep. Stay. Make safe.
Make sure the old lady doesn't try to eat him.
Yeah. Don't let her eat you, and help her with her rocks, I guess. Because I mean, use your mouth, pick up rocks.
I'll let Nanny Poo Poo know that we're gonna leave our fledgling Axebeak with her. He's part of our group, and to be nice to him and keep him safe while we go and remedy her issue.
I'll be nice to him if he's nice to me.
Well, he should be just fine with you. I just want you to know he's not dinner.
So he can pick up rocks. Flippy, go show her.
He goes and kind of digs his beak under a rock and kind of flips it up at her. And it hits Nanny Poo Poo kind of in the side.
Maybe it's best not to
does
have
it
it.
again
Mm.
and flips it up at her. Hits her again. I mean, these are just like small rocks. And she's like, what is going on?
Okay, you please stop him from doing that, please.
I just like laughing. It's like Flippy. Okay, that's enough rocks. Just go lay down.
He says, okay. And he kind of settles down, folds his legs under him, goes into kind of a bit of a roost.
Hmm.
I just put a couple bits of dried fish next to him and his little toy, his arm,
Goblin arm.
goblin arm.
He looks pretty happy about this.
All right, so are we all doing this then? Any objections? Any questions? Anything before we break camp and look for this cave?
I think Tobias and the dragon are having flashbacks over here, but I think we're good to go.
If you want to stay here, I'll understand.
Doesn't mean I won't make fun of you if you do, but
I have some
She
skills
pokes
to
at you,
know.
Tobias. She's like, yes, you could stay and help with the stones.
oh, rocks, those are more your style.
I'm very sorry, Nanny, but I have some score to settle.
Ah. I thought you might be interested, you. Alright, so I've got a plan.
Uh-oh.
Valia, do you have your torch? Valia,
Yes,
do you have your torch?
of course.
Hold it out for me.
Okay, torch. Here. It's like right in your face, like right.
I'll say now let go of it. I've been working on this little trick.
Oh jeez, everybody stand back in case we blow up. So I just try to let go of it, drop it.
I mage hand it so that it stays in air, and I press the digitation to light it.
Okay, nice.
And I'll be like, not bad, right? Gives you a free hand, easier to climb. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. That's nice, but isn't it a little safer to go when it's dark and there's no light, so they don't see us?
I'm just saying, if you need somebody to hold a light for you, I might be able to manage it on occasion. I've been working on it since our last encounter with them terrafolk, and I just wanted to be able to, I'll make it so that it was a little more workable.
Okay, yeah, that works as long as there's no fire traps. Good.
Right. So I put it back out, give it to her.
Okay.
Any last words of assistance or information that you can give us, Nanny Poo Poo?
You sure you don't want to stay and help with the stones?
I thought you wanted us to be rid of your terrafolk menace.
Oh, for sure.
Do you remember who I am? All right. Do you remember the deal that we made?
Yes, kill the terrafolk. I give you information about Oralunga.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
I just like, she's blind, not dumb, and just walk off.
Right. I got things confused with you again. Let's go.
No. When you wake up with less toes, I'm sorry.
It was you.
So she says the nest is to the south side of the plateau.
It's not by a strange rock, is it? I just walk off. I'm like, I'm just kidding. Never mind.
All right.
So we're heading that way.
Okay.
Off we go.
All right. So the plateau is fairly large, in diameter. Let's see. when you reach you're probably about 70 feet away from the edge of the cliff. I'd like you all to make a perception check, please.
Right. Wow. Then in a 19.
What the heck? What's with roll 20?
Tobias.
Gonna be.
Going to
I was just amazed.
Are you making a perception check as well? Oh,
Okay.
you had to one-up us, literally.
So you all see that there's kind of a bit of there's all this kind of like grasses growing, but there's a bit of a clearing that you notice in the grass.
Wait, up on the plateau or down by the caves, or?
Up on the plateau, so you're about 70 feet away from the edge of the plateau.
Okay.
Where it just kind of drops down. And on the top of the plateau in this area, it's all kind of wind-blown grasses.
Okay.
Except you see this one area that is clear. It's kind of off a bit, so you can't really see like what's going on there. But you do see this, it's like this kind of area, this little grassy area. And these are tall grasses, they're kind of up to your knee kind of thing. And then there's this like one little kind of round area where there's no grass.
Go investigate.
Fairy ring?
Okay.
I think pretty much everybody saw it. Anybody not interested in going to investigate?
So when you get a bit closer, you can see that actually it's a hole in the ground. It's not big, but as you look down it, you can see that it's very deep. But as you look down it, actually, you get this rush of air blows up from the hole. It's like wind, like the wind is just kind of just getting caught in this hole. But it's not very wide. It's kind of what you think. If you were any bigger, you wouldn't be able to fit in it.
Okay.
That's definitely not a terrafolk hole. They're pretty big.
Right, but this also reminds me of the tower we were in before. Had some kind of chimneys in those, though.
Is the air coming out warm, or is it just regular?
It's the same temperature as the wind that's kind of gusting across the top.
Anyone have a disposable light source we could drop down there and see if we could see anything? Or can I see anything? I mean, I just realized I've got dark vision. I guess I can see up to 60 feet, so...
Okay. Yeah, so with dark vision you can see rough and what wait, how long hang on a sec. How long did you wait until you left? Were you waiting for it to be like complete darkness of night, or were you waiting for the sun just to set, or?
I was assuming it was like sun was just to set, so we had like the twilight and later to work with, because what I remember, the twilight and darkness were the best times to go.
Okay. So when you look down the hole, if you have dark vision, then you can see that it goes down about 30 feet. And then there's kind of a light source from the south.
Okay.
And then it kind of slopes away, and you can't see where it goes after that.
So it's possible this could enter into the caves, possibly. I walk towards the edge that would be where we're supposed to go for the caves and see if that actually lines up with a cave entrance.
So how are you? Are you standing on the edge, like leaning over to look?
I won't
Or...
stand on the edge. I'll I'll be on my hands and knees and I'll look over the edge.
Okay, so you're kind of doing the crawl up to the
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing this openly or stealthily or?
I'd probably try to be a bit sneaky about it at this point.
Okay, so
I'll
could
say-
you make a stealth roll then?
And while I'm before I head up to it, I'll say, let me go check to see if this connects to the cave. If I can if I can spot that. There you go, a massive 11.
Okay. So you look down and you do see the cave entrance below, and it does seem to kind of line up with where this hole in the ground is.
Okay, I'll try to sneak back,
Okay.
and I share that information with people, and I say this could be a much safer route down into the caves.
We still have to get down the side.
Well, we have rope.
We could go down this hole.
Yeah, whatever the case is, we don't want to fight them out here.
Right.
So take your pick. Which one you want to take?
We should probably just send one person down to look at the light source.
I can go.
We play rock, paper, scissors, dinosaur, lizards. What?
Rock, paper, shears.
Rock, paper, shears. Dinosaur, lizards. I don't. Whichever one we pick, where it's gonna be pretty risky. So, if we go down this one, there's a chance that they're sleeping in there, maybe, and we might drop in on them. Sleeping. The other way, we might just run face first into them. So, I think either way we go, we're gonna find them.
Well, is there anything we could actually tie a rope to up here?
Not really
Eric?
in the vicinity.
Eric. I
Yeah.
meant besides party members. I was just looking for something
Mm,
like a tree or a boulder or something. But if not, then I would say, why don't
But
you
the other
guys lower
problem
me
we may
down?
have to
Um,
lower you.
if you hear me start screaming, you pull me back up.
And you do feel like and this hole is just big enough for you, right? So
hmm
you also feel like it's going to be kind of a tight fit, to kind of shimmy down it.
We're gonna have to do the cave entrance. There's no way a rock's gonna fit down there.
yeah, we should probably look for more pleasant entrance.
I'm not sure a rock's even gonna fit in there.
Well, if this does connect to the cave entrance, this would be a safer way for us to get down than falling off the cliff face. And that could be a way that a rock could get in just by flying around on the edge, and we could scout it out first.
Probably. That's an option.
Your view of the cliff face, Ulfgar, you think that the opening is fairly big size.
What about the climb down to it?
The climb down to it is climbing down a cliff.
Right. Which
But when we fought the Terrafolk before, you used a rock in the caves, right?
he had a rock.
Or did you have after?
Yeah, he had him spawned in on the entrance and fly out to them, and then they.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he can. If a rock doesn't mind, he can. We can try to climb down the face, and he can guard the entrance while we go in.
I'm still not exactly fond of being stuck on a cliff face if we get spotted. We'd kind of be at their mercy at that point. If you follow me.
Oh, we run into the problem of we lure you down, and then we start luring each other down. There's still one person left on top who's going to lure them down or lower them.
Well, potentially a rock could fly them in through the main entrance. And that would be just a quick in and out instead of trying to climb down the face.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys would probably have to go first. I'm the strongest out of all of you. But I do agree we can use you as a
Bait.
party favor of sorts.
All
You
right.
know, they have these things that they stuff. They're in the shapes of animals, and they stuff them with goodies, and then people hit them with bats or with sticks. I saw that in a city once.
Do they now? That sounds
Yes.
positively insane.
Yes, you have stuff on you, right, in your pockets.
Yes.
Okay, well, here I'll get a rope out and tie it around his waist. Let's go.
I don't like you sometimes.
You wouldn't think I would really let you get hit with sticks, would you?
Only if
They
you
have
were
claws.
swinging
They
it.
don't need sticks.
It's like only if you were swinging it. All right, I'll try to. I'll do my best to go down the opening and, if possible, be stealthy about it.
Okay.
I have a horrible vision of it lowering this dwarf down with his tiny little arms and legs flailing about, going, "There's something down here."
So hang on. So you're going down the chute, right? Not down the cliff face.
Right.
Yeah, he wants to go down the chute.
Okay. Or
So
chimney. Or
just keep the rope taut, but don't yank on it unless I yank back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a problem because I'm. Yeah, you're squeezing. So, yeah.
Yeah, as I say, you still have to kind of do some of the work because it's
Oh
going
yeah.
to be tight.
She said that it was tight fit. So.
Mhm.
I just put you in the hole and just kind of get my foot and start shoving you on your shoulder. Suck in all your breath.
All right, make a separate stealth check for this, then, please.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, natural 20. Some of them.
I did
not-
okay.
Mission Impossible style at the bottom.
Got my arms spread out. Yeah, I'm in the open room.
You don't have room to spread your
I
arms
know. I
out.
was like,
You're like chimney down the chimney here. You're like Santa with a.
I'm Saint Nick.
So yeah, you can kind of worm your way down. Not even gonna have you make an athletics check because it would be really difficult to fall down this thing because it's a pretty tight fit. So you kind of wriggle and worm your way down about 30 feet, and then the curve that you can feel it kind of open out beneath your legs, except for like the one side where you can kind of feel with your foot the wall of something continues. So are you going to keep going?
Yes. Well, unless I can see something. Otherwise, yes.
Unless you went head first. No, you
I
cannot
just didn't know
see
if I could see
anything.
like through a small opening below me or something. Like I'm sucking.
Oh,
my
like
gut
if you
and
kind
looking
of
down.
like, yeah, if you look like down, you can probably see like a little gap. And it looks like if you look down the side where your foot could feel the wall, you do see like a cave wall kind of sloping away underneath. If you look down the other side, you can see there's a bit of a drop where the chimney ends, and then there's a bit of a drop, and then there's floor.
Do I feel that I'd be able to actually climb down a wall to the floor?
You think you could kind of like do a controlled skid down the wall?
Okay. I will try to increase the amount of weight I can put on the rope gently so that it's not like me tugging on it. And try doing the controlled skid.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, steadying yourself with your hands, you're right. With the rope, sorry, I'd forgotten about the rope. But with the rope, yep, you can steady yourself with your hands against the wall of the cliff and just kind of slowly make your way down the wall of the cave. And yeah, as your head clears the bottom of the chimney, you get a good view of the cave, and it is it has kind of a rough triangle shape to it. You see the mouth of the cave is about 30 feet wide, and it's about 60 feet deep overall, and 20 feet high. And the chimney where you're shimmying down is actually almost at the very back of this triangle. And below you on the floor of the cave is kind of there's a bunch of debris there.
But I can actually see the opening of the cave, and it seems like there's no immediate threat here.
No, there are terrafolk.
I see them?
Yes, absolutely.
How many do I see? And is there more tunnels and exits or anything, or is it just this open cave?
As far as you can see, it's just this open cave, and you see about 8.
Okay. How far did I come down that tunnel, that chimney?
About 30 feet.
Perfect. Okay. So, do I feel that I would be able to cast a verbal spell without disrupting anything, like causing too much noise? Because I would like to do 2 things. I would like to press the digitation, like 8 terrafolk. I'm assuming that they're asleep or something.
At the moment, they haven't spotted you with a natural 20 on your stealth.
Oh, okay.
But they're not all. Some of them are kind of sleepy, but
Right.
they're not all sleeping.
8. Jeez. Okay. I don't even
Actually,
know what to do.
as you're standing there,
Mhm.
another one flies up to the cave entrance and lands.
Okay. Am I behind any kind of cover or anything like that?
And you're up against the wall of the cave, and you're fairly kind of low to the ground. So you're somewhat. You don't have anything you're hiding behind necessarily. You're just kind of taking advantage of, and there's debris on the floor and the roughness of the cave. You're just kind of taking advantage of that.
Okay. So there's nothing for me to actually hide behind. Waiting for the rest to come down, it's likely that we'll be detected. So it's just like some stuff in here, a bunch of terrafolk and an open cave face that I could tell.
Yes.
Crap. I'll start pulling on the rope, and I'll kind of give it a couple tugs and try and go back up instead of casting spells.
Okay. So, Valia, you feel a couple of sharp tugs on the rope.
He's tugging on the rope. Should I pull him up, or should we just let him stay down there? I just start pulling. I'll start pulling the rope.
I was waiting to find if people were actually going to say, leave him down there.
Pull him up.
So,
I like slowly start pulling him up.
Ulfgar, you're going to need to make one more stealth check for the way back up.
Yep. Oh dear.
So are you kind of how are you you balancing yourself against the wall again?
I'd, as best I can. I mean, I'd probably be hanging onto the rope if I don't have any good handholds as I go. Hoping that, and I'm trying to climb with my feet, but yeah. I mean, I'll do it as best I can to get up the wall, but I'll probably be relying a lot on the rope pulling me up for the bit until I can get back into the chimney.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of climb, doing exactly what you described, going back up to the chimney. As your head disappears into the chimney, unless you're going feet first.
Nah, head going in first.
You see another terrafolk glide up and land in the entrance of the cave, and you swear it looks right at you. And then that's all you see as your head disappears into the cave, into the chimney.
Did you want to end it there?
Yes.
I thought you might. Yeah.
Cliffhangers, literally.
Yeah.
Always the best.
Oh, why am I always the one that's going to be killed?
Your little feet are kicking. And the terrafolk's like, oh, what's this?
I forgot I was supposed to do one of these, or I put my finger on my nose and then I go up the chimney real quick. I didn't do the Santa maneuver. Oh, brother. Okay.
Oh, brother. Here we go. You didn't die.
Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Yeah.
Made it past the dinosaur.
Congrats. He's going to give you a bunch of XP, though.
That's nice.
Great. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight, and thank you all the players that we have. Yes, I know. Thank you, Pugs, for giving us the wonderful sound effects that we had in the background.
Yeah.
And the birds.
All the birds.
Yes, the birds.
All right. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time for more Dungeons and Dragons: Tomb of